Episode 2? Numero dos? Today's episode is about something us as women just cannot seem to get around. Body image. Yeah. I'm so pumped though to bring to you this hilarious and real conversation with today's guest. And we get straight to it and jump right in. No fluff. So with that said, today's conversation does get a little bit heavy at times. Nothing crazy though, but I do have to offer a brief content warning. We talk about things like disordered eating, body dysmorphia, and shame. So if you're someone who experiences those things or is triggered by those things, I wanted to give you a heads up. So that way, if you have to keep a journal handy or maybe go pause the show and come back to it, you absolutely can do whatever you gotta do, okay? Now this episode also is a lot of fun too. So I hope you enjoy the show as much as we enjoyed filming it. I'll see you after the show. Peace. What is going on, y'all? Welcome to the Golden Hour with Rose Golden. I am your host, Rose Golden, and today I'm already hyped. I am ecstatic to bring to you not only this conversation, but two amazing, incredible women that I have in front of me. So please join me in welcoming Miss Jonellie Rivera and Miss Scarlet Estelle Hernandez.
Ow, Thank you, my audience.
Yes, thank you.
I live for this.
Thank you so much.
I live for the applause.
You know, and I appreciate that, okay? Because sometimes...
Do you do it like
We're
while you're
working
by
on it.
yourself? Like when you just need
absolutely.
one? I love that for you.
And
You're like, you know what?
where's it?
Oh,
Because
Yes.
we're going to...
No, yes, because I got excited.
It's the money green. But yes, thank y'all again just so much for being here today. Can you tell me what your word of the day is? How we feeling?
What is your word of the day?
I can start with my word of the year because this is like the
Ooh,
first
please.
year I didn't do goals or resolutions. I just wanted something that like grounded me, and it's presence, right? Like we literally just said, oh my God, what is time? And it's like, well, the opposite of that is being present, being like, oh my God, I do remember being there and feeling what I feel and smelling what I smelled, you know? And it's like, that's something that I haven't mindfully given myself. So I would say presence.
Wow.
I love that for you.
Thank you for that. Wow.
Jonellie, are you present?
Yes, ma'am. What about you?
Whatever, you know. For the day,
Yeah.
I don't know. I want to say grounded.
Okay.
You know, feeling grounded.
Okay. I love that for you. I was actually just doing a root chakra meditation today because that's something I feel like I want to work on this year is being more grounded because my Pisces self tends to get me very up in the clouds and the sky. So yeah. So thank y'all for that. So yeah. So today we're going to have a conversation about body image. Okay.
Wow.
Something as women that is just always going to be a part of our lives. But before we get into the topic, I would love for y'all to introduce yourselves so people know who we have in front of us. Whoever wants to go first can begin.
Do you want me to go?
You know I want you to go.
Thank you. Jonellie Rivera.
Yes,
Jonellie
ma'am.
Estelle Rivera. For Grandma in the Sky.
You say Estelle?
Estelle, yes.
Continue. Y'all will understand in a second. Okay, yeah.
That is me. Do you want me to give you a full rundown?
Please, give it to us.
Well, she's a content John.
Yeah.
She's a skincare John.
Right.
Yeah. She gives you that.
Okay.
And what else? Who else am I? Today,
Right.
she's a baddie.
Okay.
Oh.
Always.
You know, Sheen Fit. Period. I'm definitely looking for that sponsorship.
Yeah.
Right.
Kardashian.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. Miss Scarlet.
Yes.
about
Yo,
y'all?
what's up, y'all? My name is Scarlet Estelle Hernandez. This is why we're connected 5 ever. I am a creative entrepreneur. I've been working in the creative industry since I was about 15. It's brought me to do a lot of cool shows, work with a lot of cool people, and I'm currently the director of member success over at Rec. And I also shout out to Rec
Philly, yo.
And then I'm also an artist manager. So I'm behind the scenes. I'm in front of the scenes.
She is the scene.
I am the scene.
Beautiful. Thank y'all for that. Now that y'all know a little bit about who they are, we're gonna do a quick icebreaker game to break the ice. Okay. So this one is called Song Association. And what I'm going to do is give you a word, and whatever word or whatever song comes to mind from that word, just sing out loud, okay? Okay. So again, whatever is the song that comes to mind from the word, right? Yep. That's what it is. So let's start with Scarlet first, because Jonellie kicked it off with the introduction. First song, Deep.
How deep is your love? Dun, 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 dun. That's all I've got for you.
Oh, right. Okay.
I can hear it again. Wait. How deep is your
Right.
love? That's all I got. All right.
Jonellie, Kiss.
I feel like, isn't it?
What's that?
You kiss me,
Okay.
We ain't got nothing to lose.
Beautiful. Scarlet, Big.
I got a big fat
Big.
big booty bitch. Can we cuss?
I'm trying to.
Yes.
I'm blanking.
In 3, 2, 1.
I was just being just in my head, but yes,
That's okay.
Got my ass.
Big girls don't cry. That's what I was thinking of. Jonellie, Love.
Girl, if you don't belt that shit, I'm gonna be so upset.
Never knew what I was missing, but I knew once we start kissing.
Hit it.
I find. Because I am not confident enough for that one.
That was real women empowerment.
Right.
That was it.
Beautiful.
That's what feminism is. Finish my Keisha Colbert.
Facts. Right. Scarlet, Sugar.
Sugar,
I knew
we're
it.
going down for
Yeah.
I'll be your number one with a bullet. Come on, my go-to karaoke song wherever.
Couple more. Jonellie, Dress.
Dress. Oh my God. Don't do it to me. I'm nervous now.
7, 6, 5,
Dress.
4.
It's a Beyonce song.
Yep. Whoa.
Oh my God. What?
Freakum dress. Whoa. Get your freakum dress.
Oh.
Almost. Couple more. Scarlet, Woman.
Let me be your woman.
Hey.
I love all that. I love all of that.
Jonellie, Bad.
Bad and bougie. I don't know the rest of it.
Okay. And Scarlet, Honey.
Honey, how'd you get so fly? Damn, that was the track
wait.
back in the.
I thought it was Sugar.
Oh, is
Sugar.
it? You
Yeah,
see,
it's
honey,
okay. It's
sugar,
okay.
no,
It's okay.
wait.
It's okay.
Honey,
7.
honey, cause you are my candy girl. I went back with it. Yikes. Yikes.
Bonnie.
Last one for you, Jonellie, Booty.
Oh.
Booty. Big booty. Listen, I like that song.
That's it. That's it. We'll go from there. Wait. We got it. Thank y'all, ladies, for playing.
Oh, thank you. It was really about that Keisha moment. That's all. It was it.
It was. That
Like
was
you
it.
said, that was women empowerment. So we're gonna introduce the topic and get to going. How we feeling about that?
Wow.
Okay.
So good.
All right. So, like we all know, body image is something that us women, it's a part of our lives, right? It's always going to be a very profound part of our lives that we just sometimes can't get away from. So today I want to talk about our relationships with our bodies and how trends, the pandemic, and social media impact our relationship with our bodies, okay? All right, well, let's get into it. So first question is, growing up for y'all, what role did body image play in your life?
Girl. So for me, Culturally, you know, Spanish women, they're perceived a certain way. Latinas are looked at a certain way. And for me, growing up in that type of culture, I didn't look like the typical Puerto Rican girl. Like, I was considered flaca, and that was my childhood name was flaca. So I was thin as a rail, and, you know, I had freckles, very light skin, and, you know, they have long dark hair, and they're tan, and I didn't look like that. So for me, it was trying to find myself in all these places, and I didn't see myself. So I hate it, and it created a complex in me. So I actually didn't like being called flaca once I got older. I'm like, you know, don't comment on my body.
Right.
My name is Jonellie.
Yeah.
So that for me was.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think specifically on my behalf, all my immediate family were, you know, very, not even just petite, but like fit. And the way I developed, like I was almost taught to be ashamed and to cover up. And when you're already not an ideal body type, that gives you a complex, and then you decide not to learn how to make yourself feel better. So it was a lot of covering and a lot of shame, but then shame becomes even deeper when you start shaming yourself. So you let others shame you, and then you teach yourself how to shame yourself out of doing things and wearing things and going places because you have to wear certain things. I mean, I know we were just joking around, but you know, all non-males, you know, women, we have our outfits that we go to when we know we're standing up. And we don't have to sit down. And then we have the outfits that we feel comfortable with sitting down. And I can't tell you the amount of like unspoken rule that is, that we all laughed so loudly about it, because it's the way we think and the way we psych ourselves out. So really growing up, everything was so meticulous. How do I look? And it didn't even matter how I felt. It was about how I looked, even if I was in 13 pairs of Spanx, you know, and everything. It wasn't about that. It was about looking good for other people instead of looking good for me.
Wow.
And throughout that, it's been the unlearning of that until now.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for that. And at what age do you think it began? Yeah. Tell me that.
I was like 11.
Wow.
Yeah. Right around 11, 12, right around puberty, where it was like you became hyper aware of your body and the way it was changing. And again, you were so scared to wear like even a tighter top or tighter pants, because you, again, at least in my experience, I felt like I had to hide. I almost like wanted to like push them back in, you know. But it was because, you know, it felt so different, and like myself, I'm an only child, so I didn't have a big sister to like talk to me about like, hey, and this is gonna be weird, and you know, this is how you can learn to like love yourself when you're going through that stuff. So it was just. It was a dark time.
I was reversed. I wanted to like, cause I was so skinny and I didn't have boobs, and I didn't get boobs till I was like in my mid-20s. Like, so it's like I didn't have, and I wanted to wear the push-up bras. Girl, I used to double up on my pants.
Yeah, when that bombshell bra came out,
Baby.
hello,
Goodbye.
Sold out. Thank you. Sold out. Thank you. Wow. Yeah. No, I feel like for me, it took me a while to wear like tank tops. Like I hated my arms growing up. Any opportunity, any cover up, any shawl, I had them all. In all different colors and patterns, I had every single one of them. You know what I mean? Because it was like growing up for me, and for all of us, you know, we're all like mid to late 20s, where it was, you had to be this. You know what I mean?
Low-rise jeans.
Girl.
Who was wearing that? Not I.
No.
Not I.
The chokehold.
I mean, I could have. On the culture. Like, you know.
And it's like, that was us being mean to ourselves. I remember the most traumatizing thing. I remember, her name is
added her.
You know, slander, you know, allegedly. I raised my hand and my shirt came up and she was like, oh, put your hand down, put those chichos away. And like, I was in 5th or like 6th grade, and that still sticks to me today, where I was like, damn, like even something that wasn't meant for other people, like it reminded me that eyes are on me. And I unpacked that my entire life, where I'm like, it was no longer about me, it was about how comfortable I was making other people feel with my presence.
Yeah. Wow. Man. And I feel like, or a question,
would you say that the low-rise jeans for y'all was like the trend that was the most either hurtful or damaging, or were there any other in particular that you felt were like, I feel like I need to die in a hole?
I mean, for me, it was like not only that, because I was way too young to be wearing like like low-rise jeans or like crop tops, but it was also even down to the branding and what other people were seeing, you know, like those little apple bottom jackets did not fit me, but you know, my ass was in there like,
right, I was gonna make it fit.
because it was about just giving illusion, and we were all so young in a time that was so present with like television and music videos, and that's where we got all our culture from, and that's where everybody else got their culture from.
Yeah.
That it was like, you know, I was in like K-Swiss and everybody made fun of me. You know, I was in my New York, everybody made fun of me, but it was like, at that point, it was like, again, I learned to like shame myself out of even following trends because I felt like my body didn't belong in the trends.
Oh my God. And what's crazy for me, one, thank you for sharing that as well. I feel like the most damaging one for me was maybe not a trend in particular, but the fact that when I was younger, the trend was to be very skinny, was to have straight hair.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden when I'm in my 20s, my body type is now fetishized. So that extreme opposite really messed with my psyche growing up. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
And it took me a while to get to the point of like, okay, well, that doesn't matter. You have to rely on yourself, you know what I'm saying? And unlearn the shaming of yourself, as you've been saying. So for y'all, when or what age, or if you can say an age, that's fine, or a time in your life where you were able to look in the mirror, tell yourself that you loved yourself or that you were beautiful and actually mean it?
Girl, it was mid-20s, and I think it's because I got around a bunch of like really beautiful women that encouraged me, that would look at me and be like, no, like, Jonellie, what are you talking about? Because I had developed so many complexes, and I felt like I struggled a little bit with like a body dysmorphia, so I didn't see what other people saw. So they're like, oh my God, Jonellie, your butt is getting bigger, Jonellie, your boobs, and I'm like, where? So I would even wear clothes that were too small because I'm in my mind, I'm like, I'm still a size 0. They're like, girl, go get some better jeans, like your ass is like flat. So for me, it was surrounding myself with those beautiful women and just like really being intentional with that and like receiving it, because it was hard for me to receive those because I'm constantly giving. So I was receiving the love and the genuine, like, you're beautiful, you know, like, you look great, thank you. So in that, I found myself, and getting out of a toxic relationship and coming out of that and just really genuinely just loving myself. My self-care journey started that, which is where skincare drawn comes from. It's being your best friend, your homegirl on the internet, but also being that reflection for me, because I feel like I was that for everyone else, and I didn't practice that on myself. So having that, and like one of my closest friends, her name is Mariska, her being that voice for me, like, you look good, mommy, don't think about that, really, really genuinely made me start loving myself, and like being okay with saying that I love myself and that I'm beautiful and that I'm a bad bitch, because we deserve that. Like, I deserve that.
Shout out to Mariska.
Shout out to them.
I love that. I'm gonna be real honest. I tried doing that last week and I cried. I fully know that I'm surrounded by people that like love me and love me for who I am, but I am not yet there. You know, and I think it's just as important to say when you're not, because I literally tried it last week and I was like fully in tears looking in my own eyes, and that's a scary feeling. And I think it's the feeling of change and of unlearning what change looks like. Like, you know, I thought I've struggled with like yo-yo weight. I mean, I lost 70 pounds, gained 50, you know, and I think what messes with me the most is that I saw how differently people treated me. Where, you know, it'd go from, oh, hey, let me open the door for you, to yes, you know, being kind to me, to back to invisible. And so I've conditioned myself to imagine myself in those situations and just kind of take myself out of that, because, you know, it's like I just have tied my self-worth to my weight for so long. And I was actually just sharing with Joe where I'm going to the gym. I haven't weighed myself in 9 months. and I'm lifting. So now instead of, oh my God, my pants are getting tighter, like I should shame myself, I should, give in to my disordered eating. It's mostly like, oh my God, they're getting tighter because mommy, you built that ass because you've been working hard. And I feel strong for the very first time. So I think this is the reset, and everything in my brain's very numbers and analytical. This is the first time that I've let myself feel good instead of something telling me to look good. That it is good. And let me share this, because I didn't know it wasn't a universal fact until I talked about it out loud. When you go to a doctor's office, I'm about to be 28 years old, and I've never in my life been to the doctor's office where they didn't shout out your weight as soon as you got on the scale. I never knew that wasn't a thing until I literally got to my primary physician now, and they were like, get on the scale backwards. And then she didn't say anything out loud, and then we got to the room, she's like, do you even want to know? And I was like, that's so healthy, because imagine if someone had disordered eating or something like that, and they were excited to know their weight, and all of a sudden because when you go to a doctor and you're like, my ear hurts, they're like, oh, it's because you're fat.
Right.
You gotta lose 20 pounds.
Right.
And it's like, so what's up with my goddamn ear, So it was the first time in a long time that I felt like God really brought together this change that I'm committed to in myself and feeling good, and then reminding myself that there are people and professionals out there that are looking to reflect that was happening. And I was literally in tears, because I'd never had, I'd avoided doctors because I didn't want to get weighed, because I knew they'd be like, in the hall, in front of everybody. And it's like, that's literally my worst fear.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah, that's what, I've never not had it. And I think that's the pena of being, a bigger girl. Everything starts with your weight.
Yeah.
Right.
And then it's anything beyond that. And this is the first time I was like, what? I don't have to know? It felt good.
That's amazing.
You have said so many things that I am just like, I want to cry, I want to scream, I want to laugh, I want to give Scar an applause for that. No, seriously. Scar, wow. Wow.
Yeah.
No, seriously, there's, again, so many things. The yo-yo weight, the self-worth being tied to our weight. And I'm like, and I feel like as someone who is also a larger woman who has struggled with my weight my entire life, I can very much so resonate with that, with it's always weight first, everything else after. It's always like, oh, you're losing weight. It's like, you didn't even ask me how I was doing.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When I've been my skinniest, I've been my most mentally ill.
Ooh.
But nobody asked for that.
And
They
no
said,
one's talking about
no, they go, you look great. And it's like, I'm struggling.
Yeah.
I'm in a deep depression right now, because I'm noticing how people are treating me differently.
Yeah.
It's so different. And now when people go, oh my God, did you lose weight? I go, no, I feel strong. So I've gotten pretty good at the fact where it's like, I need to teach other people and kind of put them in their place where it's
Set
like
that
my
boundary.
Oh,
Right.
100%. I was like,
working
baby,
on
I'm
that.
mentally ill. You can't be saying this stuff to me. It's just not nice. And it's just
Wow.
it's been conditioned to be a compliment. You lost weight.
Right.
And I can't, and I've had to literally, even starting from the top, with my mom, I love her to pieces,
Yeah.
but you need to stop commenting on my weight. Every time that I see you, don't call me gorda, don't call me flaca, just call me nena, just call,
Yeah.
And I had to really sit down and have that conversation with her. And to her, she doesn't understand it. It's a cariño, it's from love. Oh, mommy, but I'm just saying, you look good. But it's not good for me. Because then I go home and I think about it. Did I lose weight? Because now I'm like, well, my butt's going to get smaller. My boobs are going to get smaller because I'm losing weight. So then I'm like, I'm gorging. And then I'm like, okay, well, no, this was a few years ago, but still. And it's not okay.
Yeah.
It's so
and
cultural.
allowing to set that, allowing yourself to, and it's culturally. And I hate it. And I actually have one of my cousins, she also herself was like, no, I don't want people calling me gorda no more. And I remember her mother having this conversation with us. And I said, okay, so I'm just going to call her by her name. And I caught myself calling. I said, Mommy, I'm sorry. I know that you set that boundary and I do apologize. She's like, it's okay. Thank you.
Wow.
And I don't do it. But I'm appreciative that even she sees me doing it, and it's coming easily for all of my younger siblings or my younger relatives to be like, no, this is okay. And I love that for them.
Yeah.
Because
didn't have that.
luxury or that permission wasn't given to me. It's like I had to carve that out myself. So for them to come up and just automatically have that, and me having those hard conversations with their mothers, like, no, you need to respect their choices. You need to allow them to do that with you so that they can be confident in their decisions. Because once they go out into the world, like, you go out and that's it. You know, so you have to learn that now. Like, learn that and be okay in that. So when you get out there, you're not bombarded with everyone else, what you're supposed to be, who you're supposed to look like. You have that confidence down packed. And I'm happy that I can confidently say that I did that for them. They come up because I was the one, like, no, like, this isn't okay, and I'm the one that's breaking down the walls, and like, F that. Like, no, you're not going to do this, you're not going to do that. And it's not disrespectful. Because that's the thing. Oh, you're being smart, you're being disrespectful. No,
I'm setting a boundary.
I'm setting a boundary because this hurts me.
I definitely feel like I'm still learning how to do that with my family, because I also know, like, again, I have literally battled with my weight since I was 5. Like, it was like, my parents would always say, like, you were skinny up until you were like 4, and I was just like, well, why? Like, why? I was 4 years old. Like,
that's your fault.
I like snacks. Like, I like goldfish. Like, I don't know what to tell you. But, you know, growing up, it was always like, oh, you know, you've lost weight, or like, oh, make sure that you're not snacking or like dipping, or, you know, all of that. And it was just like, it was a constant, you know, I feel like it was implanted in my head that I should be super hyper focused about my weight and nothing else. And nothing else mattered. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was all you saw. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like even in my big age right now, I'm still like not quite at that point where I can be like, I love y'all, but I don't need to hear it. I really don't need to hear it, because I'm happy with myself, or I'm working on it, you know, right now. You know, I'm not quite there yet, but just you constantly reminding me about it is telling me that that's all I should be worrying about. Like, why don't you ask me how I'm feeling, or how my mental is doing, or anything else? But it's always like, oh, you know, you've lost weight. You know what I'm saying? And it's weird. I think you had said it, like, how people treat you differently when you lose weight versus gain weight, and it's always that, like, congratulations versus, you know, losing weight for like for gaining weight. You know what I'm saying? And one of my friends, Jessica, shout out to Jessica. I want to tell myself in the face. Ooh, that was all love for you, Jessica. Damn, is my eyebrows still on? I'm like, she's
on the wall back there.
Like, I'm like, golly. Jessica. She is the one who would always say, like, don't congratulate people, or I don't like when people congratulate me, because it's like, it's saying that losing weight equals good, gaining weight equals bad. And it's not as black and white, because we know that just because somebody is, you know, underweight or you know, doesn't weigh as much does not always mean that they're healthy. You know what I mean? Exactly. So shout out to Jessica for that. I'm not gonna hit myself in the face again, but cool. Yeah, wow. Whew, I'm like, this is healing for me. I'm taking notes. I'm like, all right, I'm ready to set a boundary with my family. Period. But before we continue, I want to pause really quickly and do a fit check, okay? Ooh. So, as we know, or as I like to say, you don't need to spend a lot of money in order to look good, as we can see Exhibit A, B, and C. So I want y'all to tell me about your outfits. Where did you get it from? What'd you spend on it? You don't have to tell me that, but you know.
Oh, no,
baddie on a budget. Let's go. Ooh, baddie on a budget. Is that what this is called?
I like baddie on a budget.
Baddie on a budget.
Me gusta.
Because I will always be frugal, and like what will always cost the most, and that's like by not much, will always be my shoes. I love my shoes. So these are from 7 Dials. They were Macy's. They were $90, but I got them for $45.
Okay.
So they fit better.
Yeah.
The pants are Target. I think I got these for $21.
You do love Target.
And it's like, I love Target for the thickum like hips and like sweet waist.
I haven't gotten it yet.
Target's the Wavingtons. This is like 16, and she's like silk on me. Like it's gorgeous.
Okay.
The top is Primark. So Primark always comes in with the everything on a budget. The Cuban links are probably the most expensive thing on me, but they're not mine. They're my papi's. So shout out to Dad for La Herencia, the inheritance.
Right.
Yeah, that's about it. But like I focus on function, fashion, and also just like how I'm feeling that day. Like some people Versus this, where I'm like, where I was like, we're on our Steve Jobs shit.
Right. Alright, thank you,
I
Jonellie. How
love
about
playing
you?
with my looks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, sometimes I'm one era, the next time you see me, I'm entirely different.
Right.
This beautiful girl, she's from Shein, and I know that fast fashion is...
I know.
But it's a joke.
It does.
And my cart is full right now. Respectfully.
It's waiting for you.
It's gonna be checked out today. Shein, Walgreens, Steve Madden, they were gifted, so I don't know how much they were.
Shout out to Steve Madden.
You know, I'm a shoe girl. I love a good shoe.
Yeah.
And a good heel because I'm 5'1". But I got...
You're 5'1"?
I'm 5'1". I got BDE.
BD. Bad. Okay.
So...
Big dick energy. I just had to spell it out. I did.
So people don't know that...
Put it under like Sesame Street. Big dick energy.
And that's on.
Period.
Heard.
Thank you so much. Cool. All right, what we got?
What we got over here?
I need to find out.
And it's the shoes for me.
Drop the QR code for the link.
So, speaking of fast fashion, I'm not proud, but these are Fashion Nova.
The retailer is Rainbow, by the way.
I know.
It gives me big rainbow energy.
I
love rainbow. I can smell a rainbow.
I will go to Rainbow.
I will go to
sorry.
Rainbow. Yeah.
I'm not paying $40 for a pair of jeans that I can go to.
No.
Were y'all hip to
I'm not
Pay
too
Half
proud.
when that was here at the gallery? The Pay Half was...
I remember Pay Half.
You just brought back a
Pay
memory.
Half was that
Was
shit.
back here.
And
That
then
was
whenever
buried.
you didn't find that
The-
Pay Half,
the
you could go
bags?
down the hall and go to Rainbow right there.
Pay half.
Pay Half,
I
baby.
forgot
Just
about
like
that.
when you
Do y'all shop at Deb?
Yeah, you
Were y'all
already,
Deb girls?
You see, I was a little bigger, so I was a I was a ladybug or button girl, one of those.
What do you mean?
They had me in like Lane Bryant shirts out here with like Tweety Bird on it. I was really upset. I put a belt on it. It's fine.
It's fine.
Oh,
Belt girls.
okay. The cereal girl. Oh,
But the dress,
Yes.
This is from
Gorgeous.
Thrifted. Thank you. I'm good for a good thrift. I really
you
am.
know it.
I
And you
do.
know it.
I do. Thank you so much. This is
Obsessed.
a Buffalo Exchange.
yeah.
On Chestnut. This was $9.
I
Nine's
love
all
her.
hair.
Nine.
Love that for you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to think. What else? That's it. You know, rings I think are from like H&M, but whole outfit
We love
$40 maybe because the boots were like 30. So what you say?
She said we love.
H&M. Where'd you get that from? Because they're as well as questionable. So sorry for my brain, you guys.
She said, bitch, I'm done.
You'll never call it H&M ever again.
I
Ever.
I wasn't expecting that.
now.
That really caught me off guard.
Basic. Yeah, it's for the basic section. The what? I'm sorry, I'm done.
Get out.
Boy.
Me fui.
I've been kicked out of better places, let me tell you.
Okay. Okay. All right, we're done. Thank you so much for participating in Betty on a Budget.
Girl, I could talk all day. Yes. The socks,
Wow.
Hanes. 6 for 12.
Oh my God.
Let's go.
And this is why I love y'all. And I knew today was going to be fun. You know, I only had a sip of wine. I had this much. Okay, cool. Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, thank y'all for
Thank
that.
you.
Thank you. We're going to hop back into the conversation,
Let's
okay?
talk.
I got a couple more questions, and then we're going to wrap up, all right?
Let's do it.
So, you, I believe, Jonellie, you mentioned body dysmorphia. Okay, that's something that I've experienced, something that I think a lot of women have experienced, especially you mentioning the whole yo-yo, I've been this weight, I've been that weight, and yet I'm still seeing myself at the highest weight, right? So, we'd love to talk about that. Is that something that y'all feel like you have experienced? Let's talk about it.
So for me, it was like reverse. So I didn't see, like if someone was to say, oh my God, Jonellie, you look like you're thicker, like da da da, I wouldn't see it. Yeah.
I'm still thinking.
Well, yeah. Type it out. So I would still see myself as a skinny girl. Even though, so I would still shop as a skinny girl. And then I'm like, my clothes don't fit me. Or I'm struggling with trying to put a pair of pants on and then it fucks with you.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well, you're still buying jeans that don't fit you. Get it together. So it was the reverse. Or if I felt like I was losing weight, I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting skinny. I look sick. Because there was a point where I was like 100 and something pounds, and it was like ridiculous. But I couldn't gain the weight. Like I don't know. It's just in my family we're skinny until we hit a certain age, and then you hold on to the weight. But I never wanted to be the skinny girl. Like I wanted to look a little thicker because that's what Spanish girls look like. They're big, and we're fetishized. So you got the big booty, you got the big butt. You're Salma Hayek, you got J-Lo, you got. And these women look beautiful. And I didn't look like that. So once I was able to able to get that weight, it was hard for me to yes, be like, oh my God, I'm so happy for this, but to still not see the girl that was reflecting. And I hated feeling like that. Like I hated feeling like I couldn't see what everybody else saw.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. I mean, with me, it's been a journey between like what I think I look like versus what I am, and again, seeing that difference. There was a while where it's like I didn't know I had body dysmorphia because it's so just like not talked about until like you start seeing like TikToks and like people talking a little more freely, where you're like, hey, yo, everybody thinks like this,
right?
Like, or a vast majority of people, go through this. And I guess my biggest part of the journey with, just like accepting where my body was, like, I thought that, when I was still in college, I was supposed to fit in my high school stuff. And like, the best thing that I could unlearn is that clothes are supposed to fit you, not the other way around. So we are so literally in a chokehold to this pant size, knowing that pant sizes are different in everywhere. So I could be a 14 here, 16 here, 20 here, 12 here. But that was like I would end up buying things that like the 12 fit me because it felt good, but it was like, it's all a lie, So a lot of it was feeling okay with letting go of who I thought I should be and accepting the person that I am right now. And it's difficult. It's difficult, especially again when you're attributing your weight to your self-worth and how you're doing. But at the end of the day, in my journey, although I'm not there yet, I can feel myself gaining the confidence in the authentic way that I needed to receive it. Not by 25, I'm gonna love myself, but I'm so blessed to be alive and be in this body and nourish this body. And I'm unlearning a lot of even cultural stuff, because something that I love that you brought up was like, Spanish people call it flaca, gorda, skinny, fat. I mean, it sounds like so crazy, but like literally that's what it's called. But it's wild because in DR, like, they'll call you gorda, and that's like a compliment because it means that you have enough money to eat. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like when I'm coming from America, like those are fighting words. But it's like there, it's like, oh my God, like you are well off enough to nourish yourself. And I think that as much as it screwed me up going back and forth between the US and DR and hearing that stuff, like it's such a it's not sad, but it's like, oh my God, like that difference, and that hearing that my entire life, like, that was actually like a positive thing. And I don't think I've ever shaken that off since.
Wow. That's, Whew. This conversation is very healing for me, I will say. Because again, like, I feel like there's a lot of shame around body image, around body dysmorphia, and just these conversations, I feel like they're had, but I don't know, maybe just me having it is what is like the healing part for me. You know what I mean?
Saying it out loud, because it's stuff that we do.
Within community, within sisterhood, within a place where we can be vulnerable, and that's okay. And I think that the obsoleteness of like healed, like, oh, I'm healed now. Like healing is a continuous thing.
Ever.
And some days, you know, I think that I'm the baddest bitch walking around.
Yeah.
And some days I feel like shit.
Yeah.
That part.
But I'm allowed to feel like that.
Or even in the morning, I feel amazing, and by 3 p.m.
You're like,
I'm like, who is this?
Did I?
I was
walking around like
looking
this all day.
and y'all let me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Disrespectful.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And I actually did hear that sentiment on social media. And speaking of social media, you know, okay, I feel like what, well, there's something called selfie dysmorphia now.
Oh.
So what these filters have done to us and making us feel like we're ugly without a filter. Have y'all heard of that before?
Absolutely.
I've heard of
yeah.
this, but I don't. So, like, my take on social media is not like normally how everyone perceives it. Like, oh, like social media is this, social media. I grew up on social media. Like, I remember starting at AIM. I remember MySpace. I remember old Facebook where you can like high five each other. Okay.
Wow.
I'm throwing it back.
Wow.
So I love social media.
Yeah.
Like, and I love being able to like say that I'm connecting with somebody in Colombia,
Right.
connecting with somebody over here. To me, it's such a powerful thing to be able, and it's an honor to be able to have access to that because a lot of people don't have
Right.
access to it. So I love social media, and bitch, if I want to put a filter on, then let me put a filter on. It's my filter.
Right.
It's
my
fake
face.
to me.
Thank
It's
you.
my social media
Yeah.
account, and I see the idea of people struggling with that, but I think that that's something that we as a collective need to figure out. And I'm so I'm kind of like really excited that people are now becoming aware, like self-care, because that's my thing, self-care,
Yeah.
self-love. You know, and once we've realized that, we can use these platforms and still be okay outside of them.
Right.
Like, these platforms are for our benefit. They're not to judge us, but we're the only ones judging ourselves on these spaces.
And not put
And
them on a
obviously, like,
pedestal.
you know,
Right. Yeah.
people around, but it's like, if you don't care, like, I don't give a shit. Like, if you come onto my page and you see me shaking a little ass, get off my page if you don't like it, respectfully.
Get out
Or
my house.
disrespectfully, honestly.
Get out.
'Cause-
This is my house.
Yeah.
Get out.
100%.
Get out. If you don't like what I'm posting,
Yeah.
that unfollow button is right there, baby.
Yeah.
You can go.
Yeah.
You're not welcome here anyways. So
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's what the pandemic showed us. One of the highlights of social media is that we might all be, you know, in quarantine right now, but I still have the ability to connect with somebody that, like you said, is in Colombia,
Yes.
in wherever, you know what I'm saying? But also, speaking of the pandemic, I feel like the pandemic gave us a lot of time to think. It gave us a lot of time to reflect and to just kind of sit with ourselves and either love ourselves or hate ourselves. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
or both at the same time.
or at the same time, during the same day. You know what I'm saying? So for y'all, do you feel like the pandemic helped or hurt your relationship with your body?
I think it really helped me because I was
That's
able to
solid.
have the time to like slow down because I was in survival mode for years, working 2-3 jobs, on go, like constantly.
Right.
Where the slowdown was so refreshing for me, and I was able to actually do the things that I wanted to do on my social media platforms, like do daily stuff, do everything that I wanted to do. I just didn't have the time to do it.
Yeah.
So, and it really was like, I can do this. Like, this is comfortable for me. I can connect with people and I don't have to be in the same room as them.
Yeah.
Like Clubhouse. It's all so I'm everywhere. On all social media platforms. Like, I love that.
Right.
I think it helped and it hurt, and for different reasons. So my anxiety just makes me binge. So I'll like, my disordered eating is like, I'll have like a salad and like be good during the day, and then at night, like I start the binge. Yes. And what also happened during the pandemic was that it was my first time. So me and my boyfriend had been not long term, but we were distanced, right? So we didn't live in the same city for a while. And we went from only seeing each other on weekends or like when we could during the week to like living together. And I'm not saying that validation supports, but it helped me get out of my own head because I have this incredible partner that like is seeing things in me that I'm not seeing in myself and is so committed to letting me know that that while I was in my head telling myself all these things, I had this actual person right here, you know, telling me their truth. And who am I to invalidate their truth of me only because I'm in such a dark place? So, I mean, shout out to my partner, Martin. We've been together for 8 years.
Shout out, Martin.
Has known me from a little teeny bopper, you know, college kid through working at a startup to, you know, becoming this woman that I haven't peaked, and that's so sexy to me. Like, that's so exciting to me and exhilarating to think that every day I get a chance to wake up and have a great day and feel better and talk to myself better. So while the pandemic hurt just because mental health, like, I deal with things by eating. That is my comfort. I used to get told, like, not to eat at night by my mom. Like, I'd be going to get a drink of water, but she'd be like, better not be eating. But you know I'm damn well stealing snacks because now you shamed me out of it. But here's a crazy story. I caught myself like hiding that I was eating from Martin, and he was like,
my God.
He was like, why are you like in the kitchen alone, like eating? And I like felt embarrassed, and he was like, there's no problem with it. And I was like, there's not? It's not like illegal? And he's like, no, like, A, make me a sandwich, and 2, let's have it together. Like, I never knew that there wasn't shame around eating after 9 p.m. or 11 p.m. It took me being a grown woman like 2 years ago to be like, oh my God, I'm literally hiding because I'm ashamed by myself of food, which food is supposed to nurture you, it's supposed to comfort you, it's supposed to fuel you. So you have, but I was hiding like a fucking dog, dude. It was really wild, and I'm happy to share those realizations because I hope that anybody out there who's feeling the same way is like, hey, not only is it not normal, but and that's okay, but that there's space to talk about it and to not feel shame about your shame about your shame.
And that's totally okay, and I love that. I love that. That's what I brought. I mean, obviously, that we all as a collective went through the pandemic together. We're still going through the pandemic together.
And we are.
The fact that it's okay and these conversations are happening that you cannot, it's okay to not be okay. And it's okay that you're feeling like that. That's fine. As long as you're not staying in that space. But if you want to, bitch, for a couple of days, go for it.
Stay there.
But know that you're gonna have to come back. You're gonna have to ground yourself again in who you are. And that's okay. And I feel like that it's probably the only time that in my life anyways, because I'm 30, I just turned 30 this year. And let me tell you something. Beautiful 20-somethings.
Yes.
Turning
I don't know why I thought you were
30?
29. Okay, you are. Okay.
I was 30.
You just turned 30
in
September. Okay.
Turning 30?
Yeah, I'm excited.
I don't know what happened, but something happened, and and it's like
That's such a blessing.
oh my gosh, the confidence that I it's like I walk a little different, you know. I stand up a little.
Yeah.
My ass feel a little fatter. I don't know what it is. I'm not sure.
Shout out to not peaking in high school.
Okay.
Shout out to not peaking in high school.
Respectfully, because now they're in my DMs and I'm declining the request.
Yeah. Wow.
You have to request to get into that. Okay.
Yeah. Oh my God. First of all, Scarlet. I don't know if you saw, but my eyes began to. I did not know that was a thing. I mean, I feel like any time that there's things that you struggle with, there's somebody else. There are thousands of other people that also struggle with the same thing.
Absolutely.
Wow. I was like, I didn't want to cry. I'm glad we talked about something else. Now we're circling back to it. But wow, like I have experienced so much shame around eating, and it's like, you know, again, being that larger person where it's like you can't eat a burger or you can't eat a salad. It's like, oh, you should be eating a salad. If you're eating a salad, you're
damn right you're eating a salad.
You know what I'm saying? And I also have experienced that, like, just embarrassment around eating when, like you said, it's like, no, like you eat to nourish yourselves. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to thank you for that so much, and we are going to take a quick break. Okay.
Hey! So, like I mentioned before in the intro, this episode gets a little bit heavy. So I'm checking in. How are you? Are you doing good? If this episode is bringing up any kinds of heavy emotions or any triggers, I just want you to invite yourself to give yourself some grace. Dealing with these things is certainly not easy, nor do I expect or hope you don't expect yourself just to get over them. So if you so choose, take this time just to check in. Pause the episode if you need to, and then feel free to come back and watch the rest of the show. If you have to go to the mirror and talk to yourself, or if you have to give yourself a hug, whatever it is, just take this time if you're feeling those kind of emotions just to check in. You good? You sure? All right, let's jump back into the show. Welcome back, y'all. We are going to jump right back into the conversation and Scarlet's again. Ooh. I just want to thank you for seeing me and for acknowledging me. Even though you were just sharing your story and your experience, like, I felt so seen in what you were saying. Like, I was just telling Jonellie when we had break that at my parents' house, we have like our gym in the basement, but we also used to have our snacks in the basement. Okay. So there were times I remember when, I don't know if I would actually work out or I would just go down there just to eat snacks and watch TV, you know what I'm saying? But just to your point of like being so ashamed of eating in front of people, I didn't want them to know that I was even eating the snacks. I would wait until I went downstairs to eat those snacks and then walk upstairs as if I just did an incredible workout and just, I just burned. No, baby, you consumed calories. You know what I'm saying? But I just, wow. I really feel very seen in you saying that. So I'll just say thank you so much for sharing that, because relationship with food, that is a whole other conversation that I would love to have on a different day. But again, thank y'all for that, And with that, with eating, I don't know if the pandemic really helped me. With that, I will say that the quarantine 15, they only said that because it rhymed. It's more like the quarantine 30, okay? But that was a big fear of mine throughout the pandemic, is like, oh my God, I can't eat all this food because I'm gonna gain weight. And I did. I gained I gained many pounds during the pandemic, okay? And I'm working on, yes, losing the weight, but having a different perspective this time. So, really quickly, only because this is coming up, I have gained and lost the same 30 to 50 pounds now 3 times in my life. Yep. The first time, I learned it was physical, okay? There is a physical change I'm willing to have with my body. Second time, I learned it was mental. There is a mental discipline that I need to have in order to lose the weight. This third time, there's an emotional side to losing weight that I did not understand. Yep. There is a reason why I am continuing to choose the foods that I'm eating. You know what I'm saying? There is a reason behind the shame that I have with the different foods that I'm eating. And that came up, the only reason why I'm sharing that, but because of the pandemic, it forced me to sit down with myself and say, we have things to heal. Again, we have gained this weight for a reason, but let's get to the root of why we keep gaining this weight. You know what I'm saying? Because for me, it's not like gaining weight is bad, but I don't always feel my healthiest and my most confident when I do have extra pounds on me. You know what I'm saying? So
that's different for everybody. And I remember, particularly during the pandemic, remember that first month when we thought we were only going to be in for 2 weeks?
That was cute. That was really cute.
Everybody was like, now's the time to get a 6-pack, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, God bless anybody who was ready in that time to do that for themselves. Like, God, like that is your journey. Like, love that for you. But I was like, I'm just trying to mentally and emotionally survive this pandemic, where it's like, I was not primed for discipline. I was primed into my already existing anxiety. So I just fell deeper into that. So it was difficult being like, nah, if you're not doing this and that, starting a business, losing the weight, getting the 6-pack, like, what are you doing? And it's like, I am trying to survive. Like, literally daily. The world's on fire. The world's literally ending. And it's like, who's gonna enjoy my 6-pack when we all might be dead? Like, I don't know.
Just be the mirror light.
No, dead ass to myself. And it's like, again, for those who did do that, like, I'm so proud of you. And I hope that it came to you in a healthy way. But like I said, when I was my skinniest, I was my most depressed. Where it's like everybody was like, or you know, I had a friend, and the first thing, you know, I was like, oh my God, you know, you look amazing. She's like, I'm grieving, you know, like, and it's like everything happens for so many reasons that, again, like those comments and the way you even talk to others about themselves is the same way that you should be talking, and the forgiveness that you should be showing yourself in real time.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Wow. And that was a great transition into knowing what you know now, knowing the healing that you have been through, the experience that you have been through with your body. What would you tell your 15-year-old self about your body? Right, because child, me too.
I think that I would tell her that, girl, I will tell her that things do get better. I will tell her that nothing that has happened to me at that point in my life was my fault, but that I'm gonna get over it. And I'm gonna be as confident as I always imagined that I would be. Like, I always wanted to be a specific person, and like, minus the job, minus my education, I always wanted to be a certain way and live a certain way in the world, and that I'm doing that, and that I have a voice that I'm not scared to use anymore.
Yeah. I would tell Scarlet, I'm thinking about myself in my quinceañera dress. I remember how challenging it was to see myself and hype. Like, I remember hyping myself up before going to see all my friends, and I was in this gorgeous, like, little party dress. I would tell her, girl, you're gonna gain, but you're also gonna gain experiences, friendship, memories. Like, there's so much more that comes with living other than living for, like, you should live to nourish your body and feel strong and feel healthy. But like, you also need to know that with that comes, you know, the loss of, you know, who you thought you needed to be. So it's like, I've always been different, and everybody finds their uniqueness, and you know, my journey is always going to be different because I live comparing myself to others. And the older I get, the more I notice that while I was comparing myself to that girl with like these beautiful collarbones, she's looking at somebody else comparing herself and her collarbones, and so on and so forth. So whenever I find myself thinking and spiraling in that way, you know, which was a lot when I was 15. I grew up in a predominantly suburban neighborhood where everybody, you know, even my best friend was like, you know, a tiny gymnast. And I was like on the radio, you know? So it's like just finding worth in what you're gaining and losing, but also in what you're gaining and losing in life. So weight became a number and a goal, and then it became health and longevity and the being able to keep that up. So really what I would tell my 15-year-old self, that change is okay. Like, I'm very much like a chicken tenders and fries wherever I go type girl. I love comfort. I know what to expect. And when you are not expecting that of your own body and your own self and your own experiences, I think once you shake that off is when you can start feeling like that baddie when you're walking around. Because like, again, like, you'll leave the house feeling amazing, and then during the day be like, what was I thinking?
Right.
But, you know, you have to expect that out of life too. You know, one day is going to be amazing. One day, like, progress is not this straight line that people tell you. It's a loop-de-loop, and you go back 3 and you go forward 4. So I would just let her know that, progress and healing and being a good person isn't linear, and that you're allowed to forgive yourself the way you forgive others.
And there's no shame. Shame don't live here.
No.
Fear don't live here. You are who you are. Your experiences are your experiences. Your life is your life, but you should be proud of that. Like, I'm proud of where I come from now. I'm proud of the things that I've been through. And at 15, I was miserable because in my mind, I was supposed to be a certain way. And I'm supposed to do this and I'm supposed to do that. And I'm like, dude, you're 15 years old. Like, relax.
Right.
Calm down.
Literally still a child.
You know, like take it in one day at a time, and like, everything's gonna work out the way it's supposed to work out. And what's for you is for you. And like, that 15-year-old girl that wanted to be loved, that wanted boys to see me and like make sure that do you think that I'm pretty? Like, you're pretty just because, and you don't need the validation of anybody else as long as you feel that and you see that.
Yeah.
I was dating some bum ass white guys. They didn't know what they had.
Girl, bye. Nobody was dating me at 15 because I had 5 brothers.
Yeah.
That were like, we'll punch you in the face.
Yeah. I was definitely a late bloomer, so I was not at all on there. Yeah. Well, thank y'all so much for sharing those things, and we're gonna change up the pace a little bit, okay?
Let's do it.
So first of all, that was the end of my questions about body image. So again, deep breath.
No, thank you. That was awesome.
No,
That
I
was
feel like I needed it.
like
Definitely.
healing for myself. I hope the same thing for y'all.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I want to thank y'all again for the vulnerability.
Thank
You know what I'm saying?
Thanks for even having this type of conversation.
And creating this space, you
Yes,
know, with
absolutely.
these people.
Absolutely. Look, it's my pleasure. Okay. So our next segment, it's called Rapid Fire. And what this is that I'm going to put 3 minutes on the clock. This is a golden hourglass. Okay. And the women in front of me are going to have 3 minutes to answer as many questions as they can. Okay. So when I
Challenge.
so when I ask y'all a
My
question,
challenge is brevity. Yes.
don't make me start again, okay? But yeah, so I'm gonna ask one question. I would love for both of you to answer, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
Okay? All right. Let's go. And 3, 2, 1. What is the best thing that has happened to you this week?
This week.
I started lifting 40 pounds.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been slowly building up, and like when I felt it being too light, I like went
You're
up.
Like, no, I need more weight.
I love
Right.
that. I felt
Okay.
so strong. That's what happened to me. That
Okay.
week.
Nelly.
This week, I spent some time with my friends, and we hadn't my core girls, and we
Nice.
hadn't spent some time in a while. So
Nice.
shout out to the tequila that we drank yesterday.
Oh, God bless.
Last movie that you watched.
Tick Tick Boom, and that's all based on like Broadway and Jonathan Larson and Rent and all that good stuff.
Okay.
So I got back into my musical theater bag.
And we live in that bag.
I know we truly never
Encanto.
left.
Oh, I haven't seen that one yet.
It's the freaking representation for me.
If you could give your life a theme song, what would it be?
Oh my God, who's that girl? Eve. That's my walkout song. I have a playlist called walkout songs, and like that's one of them.
Wow.
Always queued up.
Oh man.
Drake. Any Drake song. Drake. Any Drake.
Okay. Anything. Okay.
Anything from Drake. Respectfully.
How do you emotionally recharge?
Whew.
Oh, I take time to myself.
Beautiful.
Masturbation.
Period.
Facts. I want to give it applause
no
the time
shame
it's
for that.
going, and none at all. I want to wait.
Yeah.
Had
you
to.
can.
Ching.
Literally.
What is the best piece of advice another woman has given you?
Oh.
Love yourself.
Don't look at me. Look at you.
Period.
That was it.
Respectfully.
Because I was like, you are.
Yeah.
She was like, stop.
Yeah. Right.
Exactly.
Okay. One non-negotiable for your day.
Non-negotiable cafe.
Oh man.
If I don't have my coffee early in the morning, someone
It's gonna die.
is going to die. And my wheat,
Yes.
my Mary.
Mary.
Mary. I'm gonna marry.
I need to talk to my mom at least like twice a day. Like that is a non-negotiable. Like I cannot end my day. I don't care if it's 3 a.m. Like my mom's getting an text.
Something you're deeply proud of.
I'm here.
Yes, I'm proud of socials. My socials, what I'm doing on my social media.
Fire.
Yeah.
Okay. What are you prioritizing right now?
Oh, my socials.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Getting it and like making it an income. Like I don't want to work for the
For the man. Period.
anymore.
I am prioritizing. I think we talked about at the top of it. Just
Yes.
presence. Just
Yes.
enjoying
Yes.
the moment
Yes.
right here,
Yes.
and then
Yes.
recounting what I'm so happy about it.
Something you did for fun as a child that you still do.
Dance.
Oh my God, yes, same. Like I will. Hilary Duff's Metamorphosis album. Like
We had this
I will
conversation.
hit that. It is
Shaking,
amazing.
All side to side. All the time.
Metamorphosis, whatever this is. And with that being said,
That's the perfect way to end it.
we are out of time. Thank you, ladies, for participating in our rapid fire segment. Couple more things before we are heading out of here, y'all. So our next segment, we have You got served, okay? So today, our soup of the day is a chickpea noodle soup,
The
okay?
soup du jour.
Okay, I wanted something for the soul, first of all, but
Respectfully.
something lighter. You know, we had a really heavy conversation today, and I feel like chicken soup is something that you go to when you're sick, when you want some comfort, you know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to just, you know, indulge in that. So I'm gonna have Mimi bring in the soup of the day. Come on,
Go,
Mimi.
Mimi.
Hey.
Go, Mimi.
Go, Mimi. Right, watch it. Go ahead. Yes. Thank you so much. Wow. So yeah, again, y'all wanted something fun, okay? I feel like chicken soup is definitely for the soul, all right?
Definitely.
So if y'all want to join me in taking a bite, and
Please and thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna eat more
Right.
than that.
okay.
Let me
Yeah.
tell you.
Look, that's something that I want to make sure that my girls are fed, okay? We are.
Celery, balsamic vinegar.
Super hearty, super cute.
Thank you.
Bruh.
I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for that. I'm gonna put mine down, but feel free to continue. That was tasty. It did what it had to do for me.
Oh, that's gonna handle the tequila in my belly.
Tequila's fighting.
Alright.
She's like,
She said I don't want to go. You're gonna
your
go.
liver's like, please.
Right.
You're gonna
Right.
go. There's another night.
Right. Damn.
We start classes next week.
Oh, God bless. I'm so sorry. No, you got this. Actually.
No, thank you.
Yeah. So now that I have served you all, I'm going to ask that you do an act of community service to serve your community, okay?
Absolutely.
So I'm going to ask you to give me a number between 1 and 50, and then Mimi is going to read off your task, and then what I'm going to ask you to do, I don't need you to record you while doing this, but if you could send me a video of like when you're done doing this task, I would just love to hear your experience of doing it, okay?
Love it.
All right, 1 through 50, who wants to go first?
25.
Period.
Okay, number 25. Read books with a buddy on Storytime virtual.
So Storytime is that was a list that came from like a socially distant community service list. So it's like, you know, if you read a book with somebody in person, but that's like a virtual option. So Storytime is like a website. Okay?
Yeah. I'll
I
do
was
that.
hoping you would pick 48, but it's okay.
Oh no, should I pick 48?
If you want to. But, you know, I think you also should pick 48 too, but yeah, okay.
I want to pick 48.
Okay.
Okay, great.
So number 48 is writing a book.
Stop. You're right. I did my vision board yesterday.
Yeah.
She's going on there.
I would love to.
And oh my gosh.
I'm going to.
I would love
That just read
to
me to
read
filth.
a
'Cause
book
like,
by Scarlet Estelle.
well, the thing is that there's already a Google Doc where I've just been, all my like crazy like celebrity stories or just like weird like stories. I've just been like in that Google Doc. And my mom always tells me, escríbalo.
Yes.
Which is like, you better write it.
Okay,
You better
okay.
write
I was
it.
like, okay.
You're like you turning my captions on. Thank
Right,
you.
and scream it. Oh, right. I remember
I
that
love
one.
that.
Okay.
I love that.
Yeah, I did
Okay.
say this year I wanted to start. And I've had the title for a while.
Here, maybe 48. Let's collaborate.
Let's do it.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. Wow. Well, thank y'all for that so much. That wraps up the show today, y'all. Where can they find you on the social medias? How can they support you? Whoever wants to go first.
Queen.
This camera on? Both of them?
Either one. Pick a camera and a camera.
You can follow me on all social media platforms, Skincare John. SkincareJohn.com. Period.
It's the website for me.
It is the website for me. I haven't wrote a blog in a year.
That's okay.
Skincare John.
Okay.
John,
okay.
Wherever you go. For myself, it's Scarlet Estelle, ScarletEstelle. I don't got 2 T's in my name. I'm pretty basic. But that's where you can find me. I talk a lot about just my experiences working in the music industry, and just being a fresh baddie at these weird times. So if you like that, follow along.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Thank y'all for that. How can they best support you in what you have going on right now?
hit that follow, subscribe, like, save, all of that.
Okay. Be nice to yourself. How can they support me? I think that the best support that anybody can give me again is in themselves. Like anybody who's like me, who is constantly giving. Find one thing today that makes you really happy and do it. So that's what I'm calling on y'all for.
Yes, self-care, self-love.
There you go.
Word.
Love yourself.
Thank y'all for that. We're definitely gonna have your ads and everything on screen, so they can already just boop boop go right to the join. So yeah, y'all, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you. Thank you. No.
No,
Right.
thank you.
Spider-Man means
No, thank you.
Thank y'all.
I love that.
So much again for being here today. Again for your vulnerability. Again for just being bad and just showing up.
You, boo.
You know what I'm saying?
Creating space.
Thank y'all.
Having
Thank
the
y'all.
conversations.
And thank y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching us today. Thank you for joining Miss Scarlet Estelle Hernandez
Hello.
and Miss Jonellie Rivera on today's episode, okay? But I do know and I understand that time is not a resource that you can ever get back. So the fact that you have spent this hour plus with us, I am forever grateful. So thank you so much. And please, with that being said, go out there and do something that your future self will thank you for and your past self will love you for. Peace. I wish it was like lukewarm. I mean, it's still good, but shit.
That's all right. Cold soup is just a smoothie. Relax.
Oh no.
Yes.
Alright,
It's all about perspective, baby.
I'm all about
Baby,
separate.
somebody told me
Hot smoothie?
somebody told me coffee was nothing but hot bean water, and I've never been okay since.
Oh my.
Sheesh, what an episode. I hope you enjoyed this show just as much as we enjoyed filming it. But listen, I would love to hear from you. If you want to do me a solid, you can like this video and leave a comment so I can hear your thoughts about today's show. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Until next time, see ya!